The following episode of The Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout. Hello my fellow Disney fans and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation, where in times of trouble, why not celebrate the magic of Disney? I'm Kenzie Retro, and today... this is a very interesting episode in a number of ways. So, we're going to be talking about the Disney Princess series with this entry, Disney Princess Enchanted Tales Follow Your Dreams, released direct-to-DVD in 2007. It's part direct-to-video oddity, part quasi-pilot for a franchise that never was, and it's Disney's attempt to expand the Disney brand with new original stories for Aurora and Jasmine. What we got instead was, a fascinating glimpse into what Disney thought kids wanted in the mid-2000s. Life lessons, questionable animation budgets, and a surprising amount of bird herding. Make of that what you will. So grab your tiaras, tune your magical lute, don't play Crypt of the Necro Dancer with it, and prepare for a royal journey into one of Disney's most peculiar relics from their history. Now, many other Disney Princess Enchanted Tales were intended to release after this film, but they were scrapped per suggestion of John Lasseter when he insisted that Disney Toon Studios to only focus on spin-offs after the release of Little Mermaid Ariel's beginning. And this was Gilbert Gottfried's final performance as the voice of Iago in animation. However, he did perform him one last time as a guest appearance in Life Animated in 2016, which I definitely need to check out at some point. Mary Costa was the original voice of Aurora in Sleeping Beauty, and said she was not fond of this film, specifically to Aurora's story Keys to the Kingdom, and felt it didn't work. I mean, personally, I feel this didn't work. I feel this didn't work either. And also, just as a small side note, you'll have seen there that I used my thumbnail instead of a title card because this entry decided not to give us one. Decided not to give us a title card, so I had to use the thumbnail that I created. Thanks, Disney. Jasmine's story, More Than a Peacock Princess, ostensibly takes place within the Disney Afternoon syndicated or CBS Saturday Morning Aladdin series, which was produced by Disney Television Animation, and it's said to have taken place after the events of Aladdin and the King of Thieves. So, I don't know. This is the only Disney Toon Studios film not to be co-produced with Walt Disney Pictures, interestingly. And it shows. Now, aside from the live-action reboot of his film of origin, this film marks the most recent speaking appearance of the Sultan of Agrabah, and something that had also been the case with Iago until 2023 with Lego Disney Princess Castle Quest. Now, ironically enough, this film also marked the Sultan's first speaking appearance in over 10 years. And this film was intended to be the first of a series of spin-offs in which short stories about the various princesses from the Disney canon were paired according to their thematic overlap. Originally, the first film in the series was to be titled A Kingdom of Kindness, and feature a completely different Aurora story, as well as a story about Belle from Beauty and the Beast, rather than Jasmine. Trailers were released for this installment on various Disney DVDs, but it was never released. So they made a trailer, but So they made a trailer, but it wasn't like released. That's how it's coming across to me. And the second film in the series would simply be referred to as Disney Princess Enchanted Tales in previews on various Disney Princess related DVDs. And it was originally scheduled for a 2008 release date. And it was to have a Cinderella story as well as a new Mulan story. And it too never got released due to the poor sales of Follow Your Dreams. And that's it for the behind the scenes stuff aside from the cast and the music. So let's get started. And also, this is the shortest Disney Toon Studios film I'm going to be covering here so far, at just 50 minutes without credits. Music-wise, let's just get this out of the way. It's provided by Jeff Danoff for the score and Amy Powers and Russ DeSalvo for the songs. Now, I ended up in the same situation as I was with Seasons of Giving, top right of your screens, where I had to source a physical copy before trading it back into CEX after I was finished with it. The look of perplexion on the guys behind the counter's faces pretty much said it all. They're like, "Why are you getting this?" And I told them it's for YouTube reasons. It's for a YouTube series I have on my channel. The things I put myself through for you guys.
Has anybody ever asked you to do something really difficult, and you were excited to try, but it just seemed impossible? Maybe you weren't really sure you were up to the challenge?
And already the animation on Aurora looks cheaper than the original Sleeping Beauty. Aurora is voiced this time by Erin Torpey, who's best known for One Life to Live, while also making appearances in the God of War franchise as the Goddess of Wisdom, Athena. And the reason I say that is because of a song in the Epic the musical, Goddess of Wisdom, Master of War. King Stefan, voiced by Corey Burton this time, who was just in the last episode of Cinderella 3, hands the responsibility of running the kingdom over to Aurora for the next 2 days due to him and Queen Leah heading to a royal conference. Cast for the story, speed runtime. Susan Blakesley is the narrator, also in the last episode, as well as Rusty Taylor and Tress MacNeille. Rusty Taylor and Tress MacNeille voicing Fauna and Merryweather, respectively. Jeff Bennett voices multiple characters here, including King Hubert and Lord Duke, and was last seen as Amos Slade in Fox and the Hound 2. Blech! Prince Philip, none other than the current voice of Sonic the Hedgehog himself in the games at time of recording, Roger Craig Smith. Now, Roger's also been busy in the video game industry. He voiced Ezio Auditore da Firenze in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and has voiced Chris Redfield in Resident Evil. And finally, Barbara Derrickson as Queen Leah and Flora.
Yes, your majesties, you may rely on me to see that everything remains perfectly intact.
I understand I'm not the target demographic for this, but that wardrobe malfunction felt a bit unnecessary. Again, the things I put myself through for you guys. Philip takes Aurora, Hubert's missing his crown, and Philip has to go to the conference as well.
You can do it in your sleep.
On the nose, since that's what she was cursed with in the film. I mean, a cute exchange about looking at the same star before bed, with Aurora throwing the idea of a banquet in his turn. This is going to end well.
Oh, for the love of monarchies, where is my sword?
Oh, goody. Where's this? Where's that? This is what 15 or 16 at this point? I'm actually keeping tally of this at this point now. Oh boy. Seriously, where's this? Where's that? 16th time I'm bringing this guy up. Seriously. Is Hubert seriously exhibiting the IQ of the useless Canadian? This is number 16 that I have brought this up. That's third place plus the fastest lap in Formula 1 terms. That's 16 times I have brought up the name of the useless Canadian to describe how stupid these characters are. Turns out he had the sword on him all along. First song of the film, Keys to the Kingdom, which is also the name of the story, performed by Cassidy Ladden. Aladdin. Oh, I don't know how you pronounce it. It has that Saturday morning cartoon feel about it, and it's mid at best. The fairies arrive and... What the hell did they do to the fairies? There's looking cheap, and then there's getting a downgrade. This is worse than both combined. Yikes! This isn't the 1990s anymore where you can get away with looking cheap. This has no excuse now. It's 2007. Aurora now has to sign some papers as her first Call of Duty, not the video game franchise.
Reading won't be necessary, Your Majesty. You just need to sign.
I'm sorry, but if I'm going to sign something, I need to know what it says.
Oh my god, even this idiot has IQ worse than the useless Canadian. He's obviously, and he, much like a lot of us, but at least we're not on the level of stupidity this guy is, he's one of those idiots who just accepts the terms and conditions without reading the damn things. And we've all been guilty of that, including myself. This is going to take a while, especially with the rinse and repeat minor inconveniences trying to stop the task being done at every opportunity. One of the documents turns out to be the conference speech. Merryweather stays behind to give Aurora her wand. This will definitely not end well, especially with the outline of be specific with what you wish for. At least Aurora finishes signing the papers.
I admit it wasn't easy, but I'm proud to say I stuck with it, and that's what matters.
Now here's a minor issue. Sticking with it, follow your dreams, blah blah blah, feels a bit preachy if you ask me. Even the music feels like something out of a Saturday morning cartoon. She starts to get a bit carried away with her the wand, and she has a number of royal subjects to meet the following day.
How exciting! Are there many to see?
Not too many, Your Majesty.
I will admit, that is actually quite... I will admit, that actually did get that did get a small chuckle out of me. That was actually quite fun. Two neighbors arguing over an apple tree. What else is new? Which is solved in classic friendly Disney fashion.
Meanwhile, thousands of miles away.
Hubert realizes he forgot his speech. You're supposed to be the king, not pretending to be the useless Canadian. The fairies get the speech delivered and head back to Aurora, only for Merryweather to be criticized for giving Aurora her wand. And we knew this was gonna happen. Back with Aurora, while we're on the subject, she continues to see to the needs of her royal subjects. She uses the wand to create a lot of little chickens, despite saying that she wouldn't rely on the wand and use hard work instead. You weren't specific enough. Everyone's on their way back. Guarantee that everything will be okay by the time they get back. Aurora turns the giant chickens into green pigs. Shame you couldn't turn them into green chickens, and then we could end up with green eggs and ham. Now we have cows, and one of them goes into Duke. The farmer goes home with 3 cows, and Aurora gives the rest to her subjects.
See? Look! Cows!
Yeah, you have gone absolutely mad. So what did we learn from this story?
Well, when something becomes difficult, I must stick with it and not look for an easy way out.
Alright, I get it!
When you hammer these points home to the point where you're Bible bashing, the message loses its meaning. Now, I'll say this. Using a storybook to move between the stories is something we've seen before, but it still works as we head to see Jasmine, voiced again by Linda Larkin. Cast for this story, titled More Than a Peacock Princess. Jeff Bennett is back as the Sultan. Yes, he's in both stories. What are you going to do about it? Then you've got the late Gilbert Gottfried as Iago, Frank Welker as Abu and Raja, Flo de Rey as Anissa, and Zach Shada as Hakim, and Sharma, who we only see for like a brief moment in this film, is voiced by Princess Melody herself, Tara Strong. Tara deserved so much better than this, Disney. So much better. A minor issue I have with Linda's voice acting here is that she sounds too much like a kid. She sounded just fine in Aladdin and the King of Thieves, which is the last time we saw her. Now we get a whole list of duties to carry out while Jeff does okay with the music here. It's slightly better than the music in Aurora's story, but not by much.
Ugh, this looks ridiculous. I feel like a peacock.
I was born to be a peacock, but I got switched as an egg, and now look at me.
I miss you every day, Gilbert. The next song, provided by Leah Salonga, is more than a peacock princess. You couldn't come up with anything more creative for these song titles. Was that shot really necessary? Sultan gives her the role of royal assistant educator, helping her cousin in the process. Okay, 1, that's not my captain, because 2, he's not voiced by Pete.
Guess who? Guess who? It's him again!
Disney legend Jim Cummings. And 3, that toilet humor joke wasn't necessary. Why isn't Abu with Aladdin, by the way? Time for Jasmine to carry out her duties. Her cousin says she's taking a mental health day. Now, I had to be very careful with how to approach this in the script. I had to be very careful with this because we all know how important people's mental health is these days. But here, I find it curious that the mental health day is used as a plot device rather than just saying there's too much to handle on her own and she needs Jasmine's help. Nope, just dumps everything on her to handle on her own.
What were you doing before I came in? It's mine!
You just had to ask. She decides to bring Raja in only for both of them to be up a tree. We then get our Bible bashing-esque message for this film. Be strong and never give up. Show us, don't tell us. Like I said earlier, messages lose all meaning when they're drilled into us like your Bible bashing us. Next morning, Hakeem speaks with Jasmine, making her aware Sahara has gone missing. Oh, and by the way, why does Hakeem look like a younger version of Aladdin?
We want the truth! We can handle the truth!
Iago, now's not the time to be quoting a few good men. Seriously, the pop culture references they put into these things. Abu confesses to eating too many figs before slipping it off the gate, making it open, and that's what caused Sahara to escape. Anissa is tasked with distracting Sultan as long as possible while Jasmine goes to find Sahara. Again, couldn't come up with anything more creative for the horse's name. They eventually make it to the oasis from the first film, where they find Sahara. Now, how to get Sahara back?
I don't know, but I do know that I have to be strong. And to bring him home safely, I can't give up.
We get it! Also, you're missing an apple. Jasmine gets a second song for some reason. Why didn't Aurora get 2 songs as well? I've got my eyes on you, and even the lyrics say won't give up. Oh my word, stop. Bible. Oh, we get it. Be strong, never give up. We get it. She manages to break the horse and starts riding back to Agrabah. The sunset does look beautiful, by the way. Anissa distracts Sultan long enough for Jasmine to ride in on Sahara. Sultan being impressed with her, reminding him of his wife, who was the only person that was able to ride their Sahara prior to this. She then finishes her role as royal assistant educator, and the narrator finishes with one last piece of advice for little princesses watching.
Always follow your dreams and never give up. And we'll see you back here soon for more of these enchanted tales.
Now, sadly, that won't be the case. No more of these enchanted tales. Time for the scores. Story, I'm going to have to give just 2 points. Both Aurora and Jasmine's stories feel lackluster and uninspired, and with predictable plot devices with heavy-handed messaging, the narrative failed to offer anything fresh or engaging, making it difficult to invest in the characters or their journeys. And on the subject of the characters, they also get just 2 points. Much like the story itself, the character development for both Aurora and Jasmine leaves a lot to be desired. Their motivations and personalities come across as flat, with little growth or nuance throughout their respective tales. The supporting casts fare no better, serving mostly as vessels for the film's overt messages rather than as memorable or relatable individuals. As a result, it's hard to form any real connection or investment in their journeys, making the characters just as forgettable as the plot. The visuals, 2.5. That bonus half point is for the sunset. The animation and design choices are serviceable but fail to leave a lasting impression, while there are moments, such as the sunset scene, that showcase a touch of artistry. Much of the film relies on standard backdrops and uninspired sequences that do little to elevate the overall experience. The visuals neither significantly detract nor enhance the story, resulting in a middling score that reflects their adequacy without distinction. The soundtrack, I'm going to give 3 points, and it's 1 point for each song. The music fails to leave a memorable mark, with songs that feel formulaic and lack the emotional resonance needed to truly enhance the film. While there are a couple of moments that attempt to stand out, such as Jasmine's second number, overall, the soundtrack is largely forgettable and does little to elevate the viewing experience. The uninspired melodies and predictable lyrics mirror the shortcomings of the story and characters, resulting in a score that reflects its missed potential. And finally, the legacy. Just one solitary point. The legacy of this film is notably poor, as evidenced by the cancellation of the potential Enchanted Tales series following disappointing sales of this entry. Its lack of impact and critical reception ensured it left little mark on the franchise, cementing its reputation as a forgettable chapter in the studio's output. So overall, the film is a significant disappointment, lacking the originality and emotional impact across all key areas. With uninspired storytelling, flat characters, unremarkable visuals, and forgettable soundtrack, it ultimately fails to engage or leave a lasting impression. Its poor reception and negligible legacy are reflected in a low overall score of 21%. Scoreboard-wise, it's just ahead of Cinderella 2 and behind Pocahontas 2. It's not worth trying. It's not worth going out of your way to find this one, so I'd personally just skip it. And that is it for this episode. If you enjoyed this latest trip into the Kingdom of Isolation, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, you can hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, click the bell, and turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on this channel. I've also got a passes page where you can see uncut episodes of the Kingdom of Isolation. And the next episode, well, reality is really starting to hit home now, because it's time to look at the final ever direct-to-video sequel before the focus on spin-offs would come into play.
The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning.
The last ever direct-to-video sequel. But not the last Disney Toon Studios film. But until then, make each moment count, and I'll see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation.